Hey guys, I hope you are doing well. I want to make a video here on gold. So specifically, I'll be looking at the gold futures. It's going to be /GC, and then I'm also going to be looking at GLD. Now, gold has been trading pretty much flat and slowly deteriorating over the course of the past month after really it had rallied for a good portion of time. There are some people that think that there's a new low to be made in here on gold prior to a bigger move, and then there are some people that think that we're just waiting for that breakout to go above 1800 and then go on to make new highs. A lot of the fundamentals are there for gold. I think it's only a matter of time before we get there, but I think people they're wanting to see if they can buy it at a little bit of a cheaper cost. So let's go ahead and dive on in here to the gold futures. This is going to be /GC, as I said, and this is the 4-hour chart up on the screen. And as you can see here, we set this high right in here for this move around 1788, and this was back in mid-April, and ever since we've kind of been deteriorating downward. You can see we've got a bit of a descending triangle here with a nice support right in here around 1680. Seems to be holding up very well. You can see if we look back here towards mid to late February, it was a top again. One more time we poked it, and then we finally broke through. It then acted as a support 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and you can see today we are flirting with that $1,700 price point. Never broke down through it, but that would be what I would look for if we were to break down below 1700. I'd really want to see us hold that 1680 mark. If we were to break down from there, it could be pretty quick, a pretty quick move to the downside, and we could see levels such as the 1580 mark, which we were saying probably 1580 to 1600, and we haven't seen this since really late March. But it could happen. You can see we have these pretty rapid sell-offs once we hit certain levels. So if we were to come down here, test 1680 and fail it, we could quickly move down. I'd say our next support would be down here towards 1650. And if we were to break down from there, I would say look for the upper 1500s to 1600 as being more of a support. So I'll go ahead and throw in another support line right in here, and this would be really a support zone if we were to break down through 1680. Now to the high side, let's say we come down here and bounce off 1680, or we don't even bounce off 1680, we just start moving up from where we currently sit at 1700. What I'm looking for here is to see a breakthrough of this downward trend line. You can see we had that top of 1788, and then we had another top tap it around here at 1760, roughly anywhere from 1755 to 1760, and then recently you can see we had this top right in here. We'll call it 1730. I'm just going to go ahead and move this line, shift it just a little bit, and move it over, and then we can zoom in on this and kind of see there was that impulse top. There was a bit of a top here. And then we confirmed it with this downward trend line and the failure to break through just a couple of days ago. So ideally, if we start to move up, let's say this is what we're looking at right here, right? Maybe we've got a bit of a pattern forming here. We set a low, which is a little bit higher than this previous low. So again, a little bit higher of a previous, a little bit higher low. Again, this could be another higher low. So if we want to see this continue and then push through this downward trend and then hopefully push through 1730, from there I'd be looking upwards here around, again, 1755 to 1760. So you could throw in a resistance line in there to remind yourself. And then again, this top up here around 1780 would be the next resistance. From there, you really just have to go way back and look at the 20-year weekly chart here on the futures and see that 1780 again is that big resistance level. And I think if we start to break through there, we could really start to run, but it's if and only if we start moving up and we start to break out of this continuous downtrend that we've been seeing for the past month, that we'll really start to see that happen. So let's go ahead and look at GLD and look at some levels there. Again, GLD is basically the exact same chart as the gold futures. There we go. Let's move it in. Again, this is going to be the 4-hour chart. So here's that support, 1680. And here on GLD, we're looking at about 158. Again, here is that that nice little pattern that we're seeing of these higher lows. So low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So that's really what we'll see. Continue to make these higher lows, and this would be that downward or descending triangle that we were looking at. Again, it's not as crisp as a chart. It's not the exact same, but it's pretty darn close. So ideally what we want to see is as we move into tomorrow, we'll either see a move to the upside as we start to begin to test this downward trend, and then we will also test these tops right in here, these more recent tops, and we'll call that right around 161.75. So that might be what we test out throughout the remainder of this week. And if we start to see a breakdown from where we currently sit, let me move this in a little bit closer so it's a little bit more clear. If we start to see a breakdown from where we currently sit, I would look down here towards 158 as that being a support. Again, I think that that might show signs that we will be setting in maybe another low. We might continue lower from where we currently are, maybe down here towards this 152, 153 mark. Or we might catch some support right in here. We'll call it around 155.50, 155.60. That could be the case. You know, if we start to break below these lows that we set back here about a week ago, we start to see these moving averages break down and roll over. You can see they're pretty much flat already. Then we may see sellers step in and the price start to move down quite rapidly. So really what you want to do, if you're wanting to trade this at a more quick pace, you're not just buying and holding it, or even if you are buying and holding it, I guess, just look at the chart formation. Again, the fundamentals for gold are there when you look at what is going on around the globe. But if you're wanting to find that good price point, just see what the chart is looking like. Are we continuing this downward trend? Or are we starting to form a new trend and breaking out of that old pattern that we were seeing? To me, I think by the time this week ends, we might start to see that more clearly. Right now, you know, it looks as if we're wanting to start to break out. We've set these higher lows in, but we're still in that descending triangle. So I think a break above there would be a nice signal that, okay, I think now the buyers are there and we are going to push this price above those old highs around the mid 163s up to 164. So I'll go ahead and throw that line in there to finish this out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like or leave a comment on another stock that you would like for me to do an analysis on. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.